Good morning, students. Today, the topic that I will be discussing is your essay writing. I'm sure this topic is not at all new to you. You all know how to write an essay, but there are certain points that you need to keep in mind in order to write an effective essay. Writing an essay is different than writing an effective essay. See, in your classes, in your ICSE boards, now just understand you can improve your writing skills by reading. Now, see, the basic thing that you need to do is read as much as possible. When you read books, when you read your papers, when you read an article, you tend to have the same thoughts, going on in your mind. You capture the thoughts, you have everything stored there in your mind. You understand what is the right way, to express yourself, how you can do it, or the best thing by reading that you learn is how to frame sentences. Short sentences are much easier and are much effective, and of course you do make less grammatical mistakes in short sentences rather than in your complex sentences. So when you're writing an essay, try to do one thing: write short answers, short sentences, right? You don't have to explain everything in a single sentence. Please avoid doing that. By doing so, you will of course avoid making silly mistakes. Now understand here, after reading, we have another topic: observation. How much do you like to observe? Do you observe things around you? Do you observe every little incident, every little thing, everything about a person? Do you observe? Now that is very important. When you observe, what happens is you do think about certain things, you think about it, and the best thing that you can do is when you think, you can actually frame sentences in your mind. The best thing is we speak in Hindi. Of course, that means the thoughts that come to our mind are in Hindi. But what you have to do here is you have to think in English. So what happens here, when you observe and when you think about certain topics or you think about certain people, you should think in English. Right? Thinking is very important. That's the third point I've already written here. Thinking or your thought process counts a lot. If you're thinking in Hindi and then translating your sentences, then of course you will make silly grammatical mistakes, right? But if you are thinking in English and you are ignoring, or you know how to use your thought process and you know how to frame sentences in English, then of course you will not make silly mistakes, right? I hope this part is clear. So see, if you want, the best thing is you can read your books. You can read your storybooks. You can read novel, right? That might be challenging, but that is always good, right? Make a target. Read only for 10 to 20 minutes every day. If you cannot, start with 5 minutes of reading. When you read, you get, those sentences or that story that you read, it stays in your mind. So what happens is you understand how to express yourself by reading a story or any incident. Of course, you can read newspapers. They are also very good. You can read them. They'll even give you, or they'll even provide you with the good information that you should learn or that you should know. So you can either go for the newspapers, but I would prefer that you try to read from English newspapers, not read the Hindi, then translate the things in English into your mind. Don't do that. No translation, please. Avoid translating your sentences. That is where you lose your marks. When you translate, you make grammatical mistakes. I hope this much is clear, right? So these are the points that you can try to improve your writing skills. After that, we have, okay, the structure of your essay. Now, of course, this is the basic structure: introduction, body of the essay, and the conclusion. However, in your classes, in your board classes, the best way to write an essay is always remember. For example, you've chosen a topic. You can write the topic, And after that, you can always write any proverb, any sentence that comes to your mind, any saying. Maybe you're good at, writing poetry and all. You can write anything in short, in the inverted commas, right? And after that, you can start with your essay or with the introduction of your essay. Now, why do we need an introduction of an essay? When we read your essay, the introduction tells a lot about you. It tells the most important thing, whether the topic is clear to you, whether you have understood the topic or the concepts are clear to you, right? So when you write an introduction, it makes us easier to understand whether this story or this essay is going in the right direction. I hope that is clear. Introduction. Now there's one more thing. When you are writing a story, right, of course now you might get story writing as well, or you do get story writing. So when you have to write a story, please, you don't have to give an introduction that this is the story that I'll be writing, this and that. Nothing. You just have to start with your story. You have to keep certain things in mind while writing a story. Which language you'll be using, direct, indirect, how you'll be narrating everything, how you will, what kind of a tense you'll be using, and your sentence formation. Please avoid making silly grammatical mistakes. That is where you lose marks in essay writing. Your sentence formation is very important, right? Your tenses, where you're making the direct or indirect speeches, everything is very important. So make sure your facts, your logics, your grammatical errors, you have to keep everything in mind, right? So that is how you'd be writing a story. Now understand, after this, for the body of the essay, understand paras are very important. If you're not writing a paragraph, and if in your essay there's no para, we do -2 in both. Right? We deduct 2 marks for not changing a para, for not writing into paragraphs. Now paragraphs means in one para you'll cover only one topic. One topic means not the whole of the essay, but one point that comes to your mind. In the next para you'll continue with another topic. And when you change para, we understand that you are changing the different topics, you are changing your thought process. So we understand that. So changing of para is really important. After that, we have conclusion. Now, what are conclusions? Please, conclusion means you will not introduce another topic into it. Conclusion means wrapping up. You're finishing your essay. There are 5 paras in your essay. You do one thing. You write 5 sentences about all these 5 paras, finish it up. Conclusion. You do not start with a new topic in your conclusion. Is that clear? So conclusion, body of your essay, and introduction. All the 3 points are important. Apart from that, now of course you already know the types of essays, but here we do have certain types of essays, right, that I really wanted to discuss with you. I'll do that in my next video, so please stay connected.